losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need, what you need. We're broken, it's tragic, we're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic. Believe you could have it, and I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
What's up, cool people? Welcome to today's live stream. How we all doing today? My name's Matt, aka That Random Christian Gamer. Had to just sit there and enjoy the song for a little bit, honestly. Out of all the, random YouTube audio library finds, that is probably my favorite song right there. But anyway. Alright, so. Welcome to a Saturday stream where we, at least currently, this is the time where I'm kicking things off with some Bible study and then doing some gaming stuff afterwards, working through the Kingdom Hearts series, starting up another game's storyline. I'm I guess this is, number 8 out of 9 in the collections? Poetically Christian, good morning. Hope you are doing well today. Nice to see you here. But yeah, so story-wise, I have worked through the Kingdom Hearts series up through Dream Drop Distance. We just finished that last week. So the next one in line seems to be officially Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage. That's the full title, subtitle and all. But basically it's Birth by Sleep continued a bit. With probably even more focus on Aqua, I think. Not like it has too many other options for characters to focus on. Anyway, I digress. So, we're going to kick it off with some Bible study, though, after I run the initial Twitch ad break and get that ready to go. So I will go ahead and get that rolling, and then we'll hop into our Bible study. So that will be focused on 1 Chronicles 13 and 14. And it looks like both chapters cover stuff related to David. Not terribly surprising. A lot of stuff to talk about with David and things that he did, things that he generally did well. But we'll see what all out of that gets included in the First Chronicles recap. So far, I pretty much just did the genealogy. Well, I can give a little bit more overall context once I actually start recording this kind of stuff. By the way, yes, I will be recording most, if not all of this, throughout the stream. So, I may be a little bit slower to respond to some things in the chat. But definitely feel free to continue chatting, engaging, discussing, and who knows what out of it might end up in the later edited videos. Especially if it's, like, really relevant to what's going on. Although for the gaming portion, it usually just ends up being whatever pops into chat. I'm responding to it, and that all gets included anyway, because otherwise I'm interrupting the gameplay flow. Or whatever scene is going on. Anyway, okay. Ad break is probably done by now, so we could hop into the Bible study. Here we go. Alright, so, 1 Chronicles chapter 13. So far we've gone through a lengthy genealogy of the people of Israel, pretty much up through the current time as of the writing of this, which was during the Babylonian exile, to my understanding. And in fact, those exiles are kind of the target audience of this. So the reason all this history is here is to just kind of, like, give them a recap of everything that happened, how they're connected to it, how things went wrong, and what they can do to make it better. So we had the genealogy. There was a little bit in there about some of the exiles that actually went back to Jerusalem early, likely due to the king of Babylon wanting them to be there for the other people who just kind of got planted there by Babylon, to help those people learn their religion, so then they don't have these seemingly random terrible events happen to them, like getting mauled by lions. Apparently that was a regular occurrence. Or at least stuff like that was regular enough that they deemed there was a correlation and thought, hey, let's teach these folks about the local religion, so maybe then the god of the area will be appeased and these people will stop dying so much. But, and then it got into more so just like history of the kings of Israel, starting with Saul, and how he kind of disobeyed God, thus really kind of initiating that history, so to speak, of leaders of Israel disobeying God. And then we went to David, and now it's focused on him and some of the stuff that he did. So, that leaves us where we are in 1 Chronicles 13. Here we go. David consulted with all his officials, including the generals and captains of his army. Then he addressed the entire assembly of Israel as follows. If you approve, and if it is the will of the Lord our God, let us send messages to all the Israelites throughout the land, including the priests and Levites in their towns and pasture lands. Let us invite them to come and join us. It is time to bring back the ark of our God, for we neglected it during the reign of Saul. The whole assembly agreed to this, for the people could see it was the right thing to do. So David summoned all Israel, from the Shihor brook of Egypt in the south, all the way to the town of Lebo Hamath in the north, to join in bringing the ark of God from Kiriath Jearim. Then David and all Israel went to Baalah of Judah, also called Kiriath Jearim, to bring back the ark of God, which bears the name of the Lord, who is enthroned between the cherubim. They placed the ark of God on a new cart and brought it from Abinadab's house. Uzzah and Ahio were guiding the cart. David and all Israel were celebrating before God with all their might, singing songs and playing all kinds of musical instruments: lyres, harps, tambourines, cymbals, and trumpets. Okay, I'm gonna pause there for a sec. So, this is getting back to David moving the Ark of the Covenant and, wanting it. I believe he's moving it to Jerusalem, which has, he made Jerusalem essentially the capital of his kingdom after taking it over. partially because it was already like a well-fortified, possibly even in other ways defensible city, made for a really good stronghold, a really good place to be able to protect things. So, what's more important to protect than, you know, one of the key symbols of their covenant with God, of the one who has put them in this land, allowed them to, you know, actually settle in it, whereby also pushing out the people who lived there before, and, like, you know, pretty much everything that they have, they owe to God. So, protecting the Ark of the Covenant is a very important thing. And I think it had even been established before all of this that, like, there was something about the Ark of the Covenant that, like, if it wound up anywhere else, they often got, like, plagues of various kinds, and it's just all kinds of trouble. Meanwhile, if the Israelites had it, not so much. But it had been taken, I think, in a particular battle by another kingdom, but then they just kind of ditched it after having all these problems, all these plagues and whatnot. And it wound up, that's how it wound up in Kiriath Jearim, if I remember right. So, David realizes this and is like, okay, wait, this is not going to work. We can't just have this sitting in some random spot on the outskirts of our kingdom. Let's bring it into the capital and protect it. So, he has this idea, tells his officials, they all agree, they assemble everybody, and there's a big celebration as they're bringing it into Jerusalem. Couple of notes here. At the end of verse 1, Hebrews says, the commanders of thousands and of hundreds, instead of talking about generals and captains. It would have more literally said the commanders of thousands and of hundreds, but it's basically the same idea as generals and captains. But there was another note down here in verse 6. It's talking about bears the name. Could be read as the Ark of God, where the name is proclaimed. The name of the Lord who is enthroned. Yeah. Now, name there in that note is capitalized because it's referring to, you know, the Lord, God, Yahweh, whichever, you know, point is, it's talking about, you know, the Lord, their God. And as such, even saying the name, referring to his name, they're capitalizing it there. Just as you would capitalize, you know, like capital G God, rather than little g God referring to some other idol or something like that. Note from the chat, Philistines took the Ark of the Covenant in battle in 1 Samuel chapter 4. And had it during chapters 4 to 11, I think. Or somewhere in that range for sure. I definitely even remember a couple of those chapters being like, the Philistines had the Ark of the Covenant, and then the town where it was, people started getting like boils or something else, or maybe they were like getting infested with rats, maybe both. Some plague like that happened to them, so then they passed it off to another city, and then it happened there, and they passed it off to another city, And about, 5 cities in total later, they're like generally realizing, okay, this is a problem. We're thinking that this thing here that we got from Israel is the problem. So let's just plop it on a cart, send the cows pulling the cart off in this direction toward there. They end up wherever they end up. We're done with this. And that's how it got to Kiriath Jearim, a.k.a. Bela of Judah. But, yeah. So then David took action and decided to bring it back, kind of away from sort of the outskirts of the kingdom and into the very defensible capital city. Okay, on to verse 9. When they arrived at the threshing floor of Nacon, the oxen stumbled, and Uzzah reached out his hand to steady the ark. Then the Lord's anger was aroused against Uzzah, and he struck him dead because he had laid his hand on the ark. So Uzzah died there in the presence of God. David was angry because the Lord's anger had burst out against Uzzah. He named that place Perez Uzzah, which means to burst out against Uzzah, as it is still called today. Today obviously being when this was written, not today necessarily. It might still be called that today, but that's not the point. Anyway, let's just wrap up the chapter and then have some additional conversation and thoughts and whatnot. David was now afraid of God, and he asked, "How can I ever bring the ark of God back into my care?" So David did not move the ark into the city of David. Instead, he took it to the house of Obed-Edom of Gath. The ark of God remained there in Obed-Edom's house for 3 months, and the Lord blessed the household of Obed-Edom and everything he owned. And then after realizing all the good things that came upon the house and some further prayer and discussion, then I think they eventually do bring it all the way back to the city of David, aka Jerusalem. But, you might think, why would God be mad at somebody for trying to, steady something so valuable and keep it on the cart? But, first off, we're not real sure of the details. Uzzah could have been acting a little bit paranoid about it. Maybe it was just a little bump, and he was all like, "Oh, no," when really it just, shifted slightly. But also, it was declared by God that, nobody, except maybe some of the priests or the Levites, were allowed to touch it. Although, wasn't Uzzah a priest of some sort? Did it mention him? It just says their names. It doesn't. But I think there was only a very specific subset of people who were maybe even allowed to touch it at all. And I think even then they had some sort of covering between them and the ark as they had previously carried it. So directly touching it was a big no-no. So because that command was broken, that's why God burst out in anger against Uzzah here. But that understandably gives David pause to be like, okay, hold up. If this thing's causing trouble like that, do I really want this in Jerusalem? Hang on. So then it stays at Obed-Edom's house in Gath for 3 months, it says. But then things turn out well there, and then, as I mentioned, eventually they do get it into Jerusalem. Maybe it'll mention that in the next chapter, maybe not. But that was already discussed back in, want to say 2 Samuel? 1st or 2nd, somewhere in there. One of the Samuels with David as king. But, note there at Nacon, as in parallel text, that's 2 Samuel 6. Okay, so it was 2 Samuel. Hebrew reads Kidon. Anyway. But I would assume it's the same place. It might have just been known differently. Might have just had a different name at the time of the writing of this compared with 2 Samuel. So that kind of thing is also why sometimes the notes or the verses where it'll say something like "as it is called to this day" actually remains relevant, because it's like some of these places change names over time. So if you're wanting the people to know where you're talking about, I guess then you get into a question of, okay, well, is it better to go with what it was known as before, or like go with the current name? I can't necessarily give an answer to that as far as which one is actually better to do. But if something is still called that to the current day, even just relative to writing something like this, then it's like, okay, well, yeah, there's this place with this name. The name has stuck, which tells you the whatever meaning and events are attached to this name are significant enough that nothing has, like, superseded the importance of that in that place. Poetically Christian says, that's why it's always important to know when and who wrote books. There's a significant time passed between Samuel and Chronicles. Yeah, I mean, there were how many kings in between? Spanning centuries, probably. And then, you know, the people were in exile, and a different kingdom, possibly even multiple different kingdoms, took over, might have tried to rename some places, and so, yeah. Noting that something is still called the same thing to that day means it had a little extra staying power. Not only the place, but the significance of that event. Midwest Dungeon Delvers, greetings, good morning, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. I am generally doing well, yes, thank you for asking. I hope you are also doing well. Anyway, I don't really have any other thoughts in particular related to the chapter here, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a wrap at that for 1 Chronicles 13. It's like you and me knowing Columbus Day, but today it's called Indigenous Peoples. Yeah, I guess that's true. Man, doggone it, I maybe should have kept recording. Because that's also an interesting note. It's like, yeah, maybe it's actually referring to things where it's like, some people might want to change the name of a place or event in the case that you're mentioning, but it's, no, like, a bunch of us still know it as this. Somebody wants to call it something different, whether or not they have a good reason to. I still think of it as this. Or like, you know, the Twitter X debate. Officially nowadays it is X, but like so many people still call it Twitter. All right. That was chapter 1 of 2 for the stream. I suppose we shall continue into chapter 14 here. Alrighty. So now we're looking at 1 Chronicles 14. Last chapter talked about David moving the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem, at least, part of that process. It had wound up captured, but then returned, but not really returned to the best of places in, the kingdom of Israel. So David's like, hey, this shouldn't just be left here on the outskirts. Let's bring it to the capital. Much more defensible. But then some stuff happens along the way. In any case, this is all still kind of recapping things for the purpose of informing the Babylonian exiles, who are like centuries removed from most of this. Just, all of the stuff in 1st and 2nd Kings, at least, is between this and the audience who is now reading, or probably mostly hearing about it. So, point is to recap prior events to let them know, hey, here's how we ended up in exile, seemingly abandoned, but not really, seemingly abandoned by our God. And then, once they know, maybe they can do better. So, still recapping events from David's life and time as king. Let's see what else we get into in chapter 14 here. It starts off saying then, so I guess it's definitely noting that it's after the whole bringing the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem effort. So, then King Hiram, if I can talk. Then King Hiram of Tyre sent messengers to David, along with cedar, timber, and stonemasons and carpenters to build him a palace. And David realized that the Lord had confirmed him as king over Israel, and had greatly blessed his kingdom for the sake of his people Israel. Then David married more wives in Jerusalem, and they had more sons and daughters. These are the names of David's sons who were born in Jerusalem: Shammua, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elishua, Elpalet, Noga, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Eliada, and Eliphalet. So, still, little bits and pieces of genealogy getting worked in here, too. Which can serve as a connecting point to the listening exiles of Babylon, saying, oh, hey, I'm descended from that person. This relates to me and my history and how I got in this mess. Okay, so David sees some success, has more sons, thus further expanding his lineage. There were definitely other sons, or maybe I shouldn't say definitely like I know for sure, but I'm pretty sure there were other sons born to him beforehand and while he was living in other places. Note there at Eliot, Hebrew has B. Eliot, variant spelling, compare 3:8, and parallel text at 2 Samuel 5:16. Either way, referring to the same person as back in 2 Samuel 5:16, I would imagine. But as we've seen in previous chapters, sometimes names change for whatever reason. Or sometimes it's just like there might be different ways of pronouncing something or spelling it based on the pronunciation or whatever. Which, that's a thing I hadn't even really gotten into much depth on with, things being more oral than written by far back in that time. People's names were probably more so known by the pronunciations rather than the spellings. So having a variation on the spelling was a lot more likely if you had different people trying to spell out the same name. So, yeah, and then ancient Hebrew being a very different language, like, not having vowels, I think, and stuff like that. Anyway. So, okay. David is successful, has more wives, and bears more sons. Okay. Politically Christian says, people's names were also known by their meanings more than anything, such as Naomi changing her name to Mara, which means bitter. Yeah, then there is that, which... Then there's full-on name changes like that. Above and beyond just, like, variant spellings of the same name. And there could have even been some subtle differences in meanings of names based on slightly different spellings. In any case, don't be too worked up over that and being like, wait, this is inconsistent. The Bible's wrong. There's no way. Because it's saying a different thing here no. It's just a different... It was a different language. It's still referring to the same person. Alright, the events in the history didn't suddenly change to have a different person involved than what it mentioned before. Anywho, okay, on to verse 8. When the Philistines heard that David had been anointed king over all Israel, they mobilized all their forces to capture him. But David was told they were coming, so he marched out to meet them. The Philistines arrived and made a raid in the valley of Rephaim. So David asked God, "Should I go out to fight the Philistines? Will you hand them over to me?" The Lord replied, "Yes, go ahead. I will hand them over to you." So David and his troops went up to Baal Perazim and defeated the Philistines there. "God did it," David exclaimed. "He used me to burst through my enemies like a raging flood." So they named that place Baal Perazim, which means the Lord who bursts through. The Philistines had abandoned their gods there. So David gave orders to burn them. When it says abandon their gods there, I assume it means like the idols and things that represent those gods. So, the Philistines, who were like kind of number one rivals at that time with Israel, were, not happy about the idea of David being king. They had seen and heard of what all he had done before and were like, oh geez, if this guy's king, we're doomed. So they put their best effort into trying to capture him, and it's ultimately unsuccessful. And all these idols and things that get left behind, David decides to burn them, thus destroying them, presumably, because he doesn't want those things in Israel. That's only gonna cause problems. Because, literally says in the Ten Commandments to have no other gods before the Lord. So then, it also mentions that place being called Baal Perazim because of the battle that happened there and the success that David and his troops saw against the Philistines. And then we move on to verse 13. But after a while, the Philistines returned and raided the valley again. And once again, David asked God what to do. "Do not attack them straight on," God replied. "Instead, circle around behind and attack them near the poplar trees. When you hear a sound like marching feet in the tops of the poplar trees, go out and attack. That will be the signal that God is moving ahead of you to strike down the Philistine army." So David did what God commanded, and they struck down the Philistine army all the way from Gibeon to Gezer. So David's fame spread everywhere, and the Lord caused all the nations to fear David, thus adding further to his success overall as king. Probably word spread from the Philistines and the other surrounding people of all this military success that David was having, and they were like, okay, we better not mess with this dude. So the Philistines tried to attack again. Now, note they're at poplar trees. Could be aspen or balsam. Also in 14:15, where it says poplar trees there. The exact identification of this tree is uncertain, which is why it's like, well, there's multiple kinds of trees it could possibly be. And I would imagine translators look at, original Hebrew descriptions or whatever, as well as kind of getting a sense of, all right, what kind of trees might be in that area. Or at least might have been in that area at that time, as best as they would understand it. Also, I just had a thought this time around, especially regarding this section here that's talking about, God moving ahead to strike down the Philistine army. Like, we've read in other verses and passages and chapters even about, actual armies of God, like unseen angelic armies being present in certain situations. And like, one person will be able to see them, but another person can't. Or like, suddenly, one person says a thing to another and then they see. But in any case, like, I almost wonder if this thing about God moving ahead of you, as it says here, was actually supposed to be referring to that, like, angelic army. At the very least, it's something about the presence of God that would be active and moving in the situation before any of the fighting even started. And the probably loud rustling of a sort, within the poplar trees was supposed to be the signal that, all right, God's on the move here, go. Because, why not join in and work together with God's efforts rather than trying to, like, be out of sync or operate at a different time. No. You want to be part of God's effort, not separate from it. Poetically Christian says, sometimes we get so caught up in contextual translations that we lose the meaning. Can't see the forest for the trees, pun intended. Yeah. The poplar trees in this case. So, yeah. Overall, more successes for David as king. And again, this is history stuff that's supposed to, like, set the scene and the tone for the audience who would be hearing this as exiles in Babylon, to know their history so they don't repeat it. And then maybe they can have a hand in making their situation better. But anyway, that is all I've got for 1 Chronicles 14. Get a little more water here. Okay. So, that was all that I had planned for Bible study stuff. Oh, and then in the next chapter, it's going to actually get into the rest of the moving of the Ark of the Covenant. But that'll be next week, I guess. Alrighty. Those chapters were a bit on the shorter side, so we've finished kind of early-ish. I'm still going to go ahead and run the next set of ads on Twitch while I transition things over to Kingdom Hearts gaming stuff. Twitch folks, I'll see you on the flip side of that. Of course, it'll take a second to actually get rolling. There we go. Alrighty. That means I should also change my stream category on Twitch. There we go. That's all good now. And alrighty. Definitely gonna wait until the ads are done before I hop in here, though. And for anyone who missed it yesterday, I did a little bit more in Dream Drop Distance. I got the secret message thing, which was very cryptic, so it's not like you missed out on a whole lot. If you saw, last Saturday's stream and the end of the game, but didn't see the secret message there. If you're really curious, it'll end up in my edited video of that, of the ending of the game, which should actually come out on Tuesday. Okay. Oh, yeah. I can ditch my background music that I got going on here before we hop in. I will probably start recording from this screen here, just in case there's any opening cinematic or whatever as I first boot up the game. But, yeah. Time to see what else happened with Aqua, I guess. I assume this is all the way after, like, the secret episode and stuff like that happened in the first Birth by Sleep game. Anyway. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and start recording, and we'll hop in and see what happens. I kind of like not necessarily knowing completely, but also having hints from later games gives some insight and whatnot. Anyway, It's a weird balance that I've got in my situation with that. Anywho, okay. Let's go. Oh, there's a screen brightness setting? Jeez. Adjust the brightness until the right heart is slightly visible and the left heart... I mean, now that I know the heart symbol is what I'm looking for, like... Also, I really don't see much difference here. I guess I'll just leave it at the default. Besides, I can adjust the brightness later if I feel like I need to. So, we're continuing the birth by sleep storyline, I guess. And yet it's showing Destiny Island? And that trio? Oh, but there was Aqua Wayfinder, I think. Huh. This is a bit of a different version of Simple and Clean. And we get a recap of original Birth by Sleep events. Also, I noticed it said that this one runs on the Unreal Engine. I think this might actually be the first game out of all of them that ran on Unreal. Kingdom Hearts 3 did as well. But I don't remember for sure if 2 did. Okay, now that didn't like directly happen per se before. I mean, she did kind of literally fight evil Ventus Vanitas combo, but didn't... Well, I guess she also literally fought Terranort, as he's called. Terra possessed by Xehanort, more accurately. She didn't fight them both at the same time. It looked like it was Sora's hand reaching out there from above the water. Okay, and that was just the opening. As soon as you boot up the game. What's up? Today I'm starting Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, a Fragmentary Passage. That is the entire title of the game. Any settings that I would maybe want to... No, don't invert anything. Yeah, let's just go ahead and keep the settings as they are. Alrighty. Now, if it shows that scene again once we start up the game, then I'll just skip it. Okay. It's actually showing you a controller layout and all that. I don't know how many times that's actually been done. Definitely not in a visual format like that I can recall. Anyway. Okay. This is the Keyblade Graveyard. Kingdom Hearts being revealed. That's probably Xehanort given the Keyblade there. Which form of Xehanort I have no clue.
The great battle with Xehanort is almost upon us. As you know, we must take action to keep the 7 pure lights safe. And thus we must hasten to assemble the 7 Guardians of Light. It is time to return to our world the 3 Keyblade wielders we lost over a decade ago. Ventus, Terra, and Aqua must be saved from their sad end, for they have more to achieve. Following their first battle with Xehanort, Ventus's heart refused to awaken, and so Aqua found a safe location to conceal him. But when she set off in search of her other missing friend, Terra, she fell to a place from which there is no return without outside help.
I saw her in the realm of darkness.
Oh, now it's gonna get into this. Yeah, I think this is exactly what we saw in the opening. So, just waiting a second to confirm that that's actually what it is before I skip it. Yeah, okay, this is looking exactly the same. I'm gonna skip that scene. Alright.
Oh, could it be?
Yeah, this is where... This is like the last thing we saw in the secret episode. Dark World. Fine, we'll do the tutorial. Move left to make Aqua run, tilt it slightly to make her walk, move the camera with the right stick. Yep. Press start. I'm still gonna call that start. To open the main menu and select configuration to change the settings at any time. Anything behind us? Guess not. Yeah, it's not even gonna let me go to those platforms.
Yep. Hey.
Heck you did. Yeah, given how this looks, like, this is definitely very Unreal Engine. The other games, I'm 90% sure then were not. Unless it was just an earlier version of Unreal Engine that they ran on. Anyway, jump with B, hold down the button to jump higher. No kidding. Some walls may be too high to jump over, but you can grab onto the ledge. Yeah. Like that. Or I could have just jumped up those little spots instead. Yeah, okay. You know, I've never bothered to test out the jump height that much.
Why is Cinderella's world here in the darkness?
Oh. Okay. I was like, wait, that castle looks familiar. Counterattack can be used immediately after blocking. Yeah. There's the counterattack. For anyone wondering. Press right bumper to switch to a manual lock-on. Right trigger to toggle between enemies. Oh, yes. The target toggling. It's here and it's simple. The fact that so many games in the series complicated that feature or didn't even have it at all. It's just so weird to me.
I walk on and on without end. In the realm of light, do days or years pass with each step? I know something has started to go wrong. I must hurry.
So it calls it Dark World, but isn't it actually also the whatever Cinderella's world was called in Birth by Sleep? Like the Enchanted Dominion or whatever? Well, I'm not sure that way is usable anymore.
I guess I know which way I'm going.
Or it is, and it just looks different. Sometimes the dead end isn't so dead. Try exploring every corner of the map. No kidding. And the, you know, glowing platforms aren't at all any kind of a dead giveaway or anything. Fetch treasure chest or fulfill other specific conditions, and a situation command will appear. These commands appear in various situations. Press Y to perform. Yes. Okay. Use items. Items command. Select the item you'd like to use and press A. Item. Potion. Yeah. I know that, but I don't need to use a potion. Therefore, I do not want to use a potion. Can I move on without using a potion? Hopefully, yes. Alright.
I haven't felt my heart stir in a long time. Something about this place.
I guess the question is, how would she have navigated from the realm of darkness to Cinderella's world? Unless maybe it's a thing where Cinderella's world fell to darkness and thus, as a result, wound up in the realm of darkness.
You're gone. Farewell.
Hey, strength increased.
Enough. Yeah. You're gone.
Yeah, the control scheme is pretty much identical to Kingdom Hearts 3. Which, I know there's only some subtle differences, but I think that's probably the most intuitive overall, like, control scheme in the series. Start to open the main menu and select Help to review the basic controls at any time. Okay. And we get an achievement for clearing the opening section, I guess.
I took it for granted. I thought I had nothing in life to lose.
Well, that's recapping a bunch of memorable moments from, like, every world she was in Birth by Sleep. Not necessarily in sequential order, though.
Here, too, everyone in this world thought that they were safe. Not just the people, but the dog waiting for his owner. The cat curled up in her nook.
Man,
So much life.
the voice lines are so quiet.
Trees and flowers. There's no deeper sadness than discovering all that you knew is gone. The grief in this place is too much to fathom. That's enough. I can't keep on wishing for the past.
Oh, hello. Objectives. Fulfill specific conditions to complete objectives, and you will be rewarded with clothing and accessories for Aqua's wardrobe. Okay. New conditions and rewards for various objectives from the objectives in the main menu. Equip Aqua with these items. Okay. I don't know how interested I am in all that necessarily. But here are the objectives. Okay, defeat shadows. 30 shadows more specifically. Raise Aqua to level 60. Defeat 5 Heartless using Counter Blast. Okay. Interesting. Climb to the highest point, watch for a meteor shower, hit 20 street lamps. I wouldn't think there should be much in here. At least not yet. Meh. Okay. Well, there we go. I hit a street lamp.
Yeah.
Now that I know I can hit those, hang on a sec. That does actually make me want to hit the street lamps. Like, just because I might not actually, you know, have her wear the stuff doesn't mean that I don't want to get the stuff. And I realize there's actually a lot of negatives in that sentence. Basically, I'm trying to say I still want to, you know, unlock things to an extent, even if I'm not actually going to do anything with it. All sorts of stuff just randomly collapsing, and that's not normal. Neither the ground collapsing nor the sudden major passage of time. Or at least clock advancement, whether or not time actually passed.
If only I made it in time. But there is no time in this place, only the clock.
Alright, Poetically Christian, thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a good day. Hell yes. Of course, that's the first thing you would think to do, striking the set of gears. Oh, so there's going to be some timey-wimey stuff in here. That still only fixed a little bit
I knew it.
of the bridge. Select magic followed by the spell you wish to cast. Casting spells depletes your MP gauge. Cannot cast spells without MP. Duh. MP charge. This action restores your MP gauge after a certain amount of time. Do-do-do. Okay. Cool. Magic and items can be used from the command menu. They can also be assigned shortcuts for easier access. Yeah! Setting shortcuts is helpful. Once set, hold down left bumper to open the shortcut menu and access registered spells and items easily.
If I find enough gears, I can restore the road.
Duh. I might want to do a little bit of that. Oh, jeez. There's already the main elemental spells in Kiraga attached. Okay. Are there other options? Not really, besides the potion. So, yeah. Definitely keeping it like that. Oh, and you can scroll between the shortcut menus. Interesting. Treasure? Oh, wait, right. Doggone it, I've gotten so used to other games that make you still press A to open the treasures. Alright, I got a map. So, I need to find other gears. Oh, I might want to change which button the spells are assigned to, though. Yeah, I don't like these button assignments right now. Hang on. Customize. I want that to be Thundaga. No, I want Y to be Thundaga. X, I mean, Faraga and Blizzaga are not that big a deal as to which is which. Actually, I think I generally have it swapped. Or Blizzaga is at B and Faraga is at X. You know, because Blizzaga starts with a B. Not really. That's not actually the reason. Okay, can't hit those lamps. I can hit these ones on the ground, though. I'm just hitting everything. Touch the light in the situation command save will appear. Press Y to open the save menu. Be able to jump to other save points further along in the story. Touching the light will also restore your HP and MP. Okay. Saving. Oh, okay. You start off at level 50. And she's gained a level. That's why it makes more sense to have even the basic shadows giving like 100+ experience points. New objective has been unlocked. Magic advantage.
I think that might be a gear up on that roof. Is that one on the bridge?
Okay, but how do I get all the way up there? Ah, I can straight this. Okay. See, and even just knowing that there are these objectives and stuff, I don't know, to me it kind of encourages you to take your time a little more. Okay, it's not like the fountain was frozen because of magic or anything like that. Okay, you. What the? There we go. Okay. Got another potion. So far, especially with all the orbs that are dropping, I haven't even needed to heal. Like, period. Haven't had to use Curaga or any potions or anything like that. Oh, there's still another enemy. More than one other enemy. Okay. Now at level 52. Also, I'm just now remembering the fact that I didn't even get Aqua up to level 50 in Birth by Sleep. Oh, I see a gear. I should probably hit the gear. Do I need to hit it multiple times?
Farewell.
Okay. Answer is yes. Might even need the finisher specifically. More flashbacks. Well, okay, another flashback, I guess. Tilt the left stick and press X in mid-jump for a burst of speed. Now, does it tell me outright when I've completed a challenge? Whoa.
You're done. Enough.
Okay, so you can kind of do magic combos, but it doesn't necessarily seem like there's any, like, finisher for said magic combos. Like, Kingdom Hearts 2 definitely did, maybe even 3, had it where if you used a certain spell within a combo, then, like, at a certain point it would just do like a magic finisher sort of thing. Okay, can't go that way. So just kind of working my way around this circle here, and
I think that might be a gear up on that roof.
up on that roof. Okay. Question is, how do I get up there? Oh. I was already near there before. I just didn't do that.
Enough.
Okay, that was where they were in Radiant Garden, about to... Also, am I actually unlocking these abilities as I hit the gears? Double flight lets you leap higher by means of a second jump. No kidding. Press B mid-jump. Yeah, okay. I was wondering if she had that before, actually. It wasn't letting me do it, so I kind of assumed not. Huh. I think I'm actually getting a little bit more experience from even just, like, the shadows. So, I wonder if they added something that has the experience, like, scale with you.
Is that one on the bridge?
Walk a long distance. That's a long distance?
Yeah.
Within a single map, it feels like I've barely done anything here. Now I'm a little lost as to some of the areas I have been and have not been in this map.
Yeah.
Yes, mobility. Alright, so have I hit 20 street lamps at this point? Alright. Also, defeating flame cores. 45 flutterings, which I guess are the bat-like things. Master fire, ice, lightning, okay. Defeating enemies with magic, gotcha. Use ice-based magic to create a rail. Huh. Freeze at least 5 heartless and shatter 5 of them. Okay. Okay, so that one I've completed. Because it's got the little, like, Mickey Mouse ear thing. 5 heartless one in midair. Nope. Didn't get all the street lamps. But, it did have the magic advantage thing pop up, so maybe So maybe it does notify you when... You know... Like when you complete one of those objectives.
Farewell.
Alright. We have set it back 4 hours now. Oh, come on. You mean to tell me you couldn't get across there? Ooh, shot locks. Yeah. Okay. Shot locks are fun. Ooh.
Yep.
Earn an excellent rating in a shot lock, okay. Well, that's not too difficult to pull off, really. Aha! Countered. Okay. Now what am I missing? Where have I not gone?
Yep.
I don't know if I see much of anything else around here.
Yep.
Can't get on top of those buildings. So I went that way and came out there, I think. Yeah. And I went up here.
There's nothing else here.
Okay. Might need to actually pay a little closer attention to the map here. Okay, that was how I got up there. So, yeah. I'm not quite sure where the last gear is that I need to get.
Yep.
Unless it's like...
Yep.
somewhere closer to the middle of all this.
Yep.
Uh, I don't know. So yeah, did that.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be anything there.
Yeah. There's an underground
Oh.
path.
Okay.
Interesting.
I needed to go further this way.
Yeah.
I know it mentions the underground path, but what's this up here? There is treasure. See? Sometimes checking everything is a good idea. Sometimes it ends up being a waste of time, but sometimes you actually get stuff out of it. I am like all over the place now. Where was that even supposed to lead? I don't know. But anyway, I should probably head on down here towards this gear. I'm surprised enemies haven't shown up. Maybe that's just because I was on the edges. Nope. Okay. Got an ether. Maybe the enemies will show up after I hit this gear and activate it. And one more hour back to, I would guess, midnight. Considering the significance that midnight has in Cinderella's story and world and whatnot. Situation commands also appear during battle. Inflict damage on enemies and a situation command will appear above the command menu. Different situation commands appear depending on your battle style. Press Y to activate situation commands. Use up and down to select a command, then press Y to activate it. Some situation commands let you transform your battle style with a style change, or allow you to unleash powerful spells. Interesting. Oh, come on. Cool. Grand magic. Like it missed. Like, well, if I don't use it soon, it's gonna be gone, so I might as well use it. Okay, that's also very similar to Kingdom Hearts 3. Makes me think that what all they did with Kingdom Hearts 3 was mostly based off of this game's control scheme.
Yeah.
Because this one did come earlier. Alright, now maybe I'll explore around up here a little more and see what else I might be able to get to. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. So I tried to go over there before, I think. And it kind of didn't really lead to anything that I could tell. Unless...
Yeah.
Am I supposed to be able to get over to that spot? I don't really see it on the map, though, so I would guess not. Okay, but what would potentially lead from here, if anything? Seemingly nothing. Okay. Okay, I'm just curious now. Have I actually gotten the street lamp objective? I got the shadows defeating thing. Defeat 5 heartless while in midair. Stylish moves. Use a style change to defeat... Okay. Earn an excellent rating 6 times in a row using shot lock. Oh, jeez. Okay. I needed one more street lamp. Just one? Well, now I feel like I gotta try and find one. Oh, never mind. It doesn't have to be a new one necessarily. Okay. I'm gonna save there. And for the sake of not making any of this too long, I think I'm going to leave it at that for this particular recording. But I will still continue on in the stream. Before I do so, though, I think I'm going to look at wardrobe options and, well, clear out some of this other story and help stuff just cuz. But we can start... I can start doing that while some ads run on Twitch. Especially the help stuff. Okay, that just gives you the suggestions like before. Story. Okay. Recap of Birth by Sleep story. I don't necessarily need to read all that. Got the prologue and the opening. Alright, wardrobe. So I could give her cat ears, but that's interesting. I actually kind of don't mind that addition. Nor that one. Like, if it looks weird, I don't think I'm gonna do it, but... So how is this one different than the plain? I'd rather go with the default. Oh, hold up. Then I can choose the color. Okay. Oh, geez, and it wants you to do all that kind of stuff? Okay, or you can select from a palette like that. Okay. Interesting. I don't think I'm gonna mess around with that, per se. Like, if there's another multicolor preset, maybe I'll mess around with that, but yeah. Yeah, I don't really like the cat ears, but I'm glad I did that because it gave me an achievement. Even if I only have it on temporarily. Okay. Oh, wait. And just for that, now I have more stuff. Okay, so there is a little bit of the pattern kind of thing going on there, but I still think I'd rather just have it, you know, preset thing like that. Anyway, okay. I suppose I shall resume recording and continue on then. Alright. Made just a couple of tweaks to Aqua's outfit. the cat ears just looked out of place to me. Like, not really in line with her character. Oh, great. Shadow demon tower thing. Lovely. You know what this would probably be a great time for? A shot lock. Nope, too slow. Dang it. I was trying to wait a little bit longer to get an excellent rating, and it didn't work. Oh, I am out of MP now. I blocked too soon. Okay, there's 3 excellents in a row. If I get 2 more the next time I do a shot lock, then we're all good. Probably want to try to save at least a little bit of MP in any given situation, just to ensure that I don't, like, ensure that I always have the ability to heal. Doggone it, my timing was just a little bit off there. Ow. Like right now. Spellweaver. Oh yeah. That's what I like to see. Another shot lock. Doggone it, that was a good, not an excellent. The speed of it changes, I'm realizing. Another shot lock? Yeah. Doggone it. How was that one only good? Unfortunately. Okay, well, I have a bunch of MP left now, again, so... just trying to figure out the timing on that is so weird. Okay. Grand magic, yos. I didn't think it would hit that soon. Whatever. And victory. Okay. Got some more HP. Nice.
Not even memories. They're safe from the darkness.
Oh, I should have looked into the sound settings. See if I could bump up the voice volume relative to other things. Of course,
What I
if I
wouldn't
can't bump
give
it up
to
overall. I
really
don't
turn
know
back
if there's
time.
too much point to it.
To spend one more night beneath the stars with my best friends. I'm doing it again.
Aqua.
It can't be. What are you doing here? You should be in the realm of light. Oh no. Did you not make it out? Don't tell me. Has the realm of light... Why won't you say anything to me? So what are you? A memory among these shadows? Are you here to try and tell me not to lose heart?
Says nothing, just fades away, leaving her to her own interpretation.
The world keeps our thoughts alive. But where do the people who lived here go once the world was taken away? At least they're not here, so they haven't fallen to darkness. I'll take what solace I can from that.
Flow of time.
Another
Like the
world that was
Castletown
lost to the
episode.
darkness. Is that... Ven! Ven, what did you come here to tell me? I know I promised to wake you up. I'm sorry. But I have to find a way home before I can help you. I just want you to know that it's been you that keeps my heart strong, keeps the dark away.
What is that? A mirror?
It's a mirror.
I'm like, that's not the mirror from Snow White's
What?
world, is it? Probably not. Well, actually, I don't remember all those symbols being around it necessarily, though. Yeah, no. Okay. I don't think... That would have been an interesting way to transition to Snow White's world. Oh.
What just happened?
So now we're in the, overworld of sorts, maybe?
Those mirrors. Maybe they're a clue.
Or maybe they're actually portals! The objective has been unlocked.
My reflection's not in the mirror. How am I supposed to get out of here?
Treasure. Probably a map. Yep. Another save point. Okay. No enemies here, it would seem.
Let go of everything and fade into the darkness.
Who said that? Okay. I examined the mirror. Am I supposed to hit all these candles? Aqua's like inner thoughts to herself, maybe. Oh yay. Neo shadows, fun. Blam. Magic finale. Execute all magic situation commands. Okay. All? I guess that means, well, not that I know for sure, but to my understanding, this isn't a particularly long game, so... So I guess only having kind of the more basic elemental magic spells and healing just sort of makes sense. Blam. Okay, enemies are gone. I wasn't sure if I was actually doing what I was supposed to do, or if maybe I was supposed to eventually, like, you know, reignite the candles.
Your bonds of friendship only tie you down.
Seems almost like in a way, the darkness is kind of calling out to her, trying to convince her to give up.
Just let go of everything into the darkness.
Somehow I get a feeling smashing the pots might be an objective of sorts. Kind of like hitting the street lamps was in the castle town. Okay. That's gonna take me to the next little section. Or it'll open that up. And then I'll look in this mirror and hold up. What is that? Whoa, hello. Okay, that was weird. What did I even just... What did I get, and was there another one earlier? I don't remember seeing one. Nope. what am I supposed to be doing with this, then? I can't seem to get up there. But one would think that's where the path continues.
Are you really worthy of being a Keyblade Master?
And now it's gone. But I don't think the lack of it being there is going to help me. Maybe I need to, like, specifically line it up. Oh. It moves? Okay. Maybe I need to just, like, pick the right height for it. Okay. Glad I looked a little more closely at that. Otherwise, I would have been hard stuck for a while. Okay. Whoa, geez, okay. I think, that's almost lined up. Seems good enough to me. There might have been some sort of objective tied to, you know, lining those up a bit better. Oh, I get both Grand Magics? Nice. Yeah, shot lock might not have been entirely necessary right there. Should have done that right at the beginning, if anything. Is that where I came from, or where I need to go? I'm not sure anymore. I think, okay, that's where I came from. So I need to go this way. Sliding down. Okay, now what? There's something else I need to line up here. Doesn't really seem like it in this case. Oh. Okay. I definitely saw something move there. But isn't that just leading me back up to where I was? Yeah, so then what's the point of that? Maybe there's somewhere else it can lead. And I need to figure out what that might be. Okay. We will release it from where it was. see anywhere else that it could take me, but... Okay, maybe this will be close enough. Okay. Well, it was close enough to get me to a treasure at least. A Mega Elixir, jeez. We went straight from potion to Mega Elixir. Okay. Which, Mega Elixir would kind of imply there's like a whole party worth of people to have involved in this. I don't know if that's actually going to be close to anything, but I'm going to walk on up here and find out. Nope. Okay. I did think I saw, like, sort of a shadow. Oh, I can look at it from this side. It almost made too much sense. Well, hey, I got the extra chest there as well. Hello. There's a gap there. I guess I didn't completely line it up. New objective is going to... Oh. What have we here?
Is this what it means to face your demons? Only your heart is hollow enough to be a demon's.
That's not true. My heart is strong. I'll prove it.
Oh, great. I'm fighting myself.
You're done.
Right. When's it my turn to attack?
Farewell. Enough.
Looking around.
You're done. Enough.
Okay. Well, that wasn't bad. But is that it?
Terra?
Something tells me there will be more battles like that.
And now my own phantom? What could it all mean?
Oh. Okay, the mirror broke. But this one didn't. Oh yeah, it did. Okay. Somehow I missed it breaking. I think now might be a good time to heal. I don't know if breaking any of these pots actually does anything. But I'm gonna keep doing it anyway. Worst case scenario, I get a little bit of something from it. How did I only get a good rating in some of those?
Farewell. Enough.
Spellweaver. Yeah. Now. Now. I should have actually aimed that. Ow. Okay, I should heal. Defense up, nice. Okay. Break the pots.
No one can save you. And no one wants to.
Oh, why is it giving me an option for Spellweaver now? Some odd timing. Unless it carries over into the next segment, in which case, let me hurry on over to the next mirror. Ah, but now it's gone. Uncover the secret of the mirror. Hold on it. Okay. I'm like, I can't go any further than that, I guess. I'm like, what if I turn around? Is that the quote-unquote secret, I guess?
Yep. Enough. Yep. 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 Enough. You're done. Farewell. You're done. Yep. Yep. Enough. Yep. Enough.
I guess I didn't get any hits in there. There we go. I don't think I even got hit once there. Okay. Breaking more things, especially the mirrors
You'll never see
and the
realm of
random
light
pots lying around. I do wonder if there are any treasures I'm supposed to be finding around this area. But so far, I don't see any.
point in continuing this way.
Whoa. Uncover the secret of the mirror. Good golly. Okay.
You'll never see the realm of light again. think I'm lost.
Oh, hello. Upside down treasure? But also...
Farewell.
Kablam. Whoa. And now I'm upside down. Maybe now that I'm upside down, I could get to the center thing? Nope, still seems like that's not the case. Okay. That means I need to look for more glowing pillars, I assume.
You're done.
And now we're back the normal way. Okay. There are enemies now.
Enough. Farewell. You're done. You're done.
Okay. That is still going dark.
Enough.
Okay. Found another lit up pillar. Also, there was a treasure somewhere nearby, I thought. Oh. What is this? I think that's the way out. And now I fight myself again. Oof. Okay. Other me's got some new moves. Glad I blocked there. I have no clue how I'm supposed to tell which one of the copies is the real Aqua in that situation. Ow. I pressed the button to block her. Hey, there we go. Okay. That was a little tougher, but I still won.
That's all of them.
Oh?
Tara and Ben didn't have anything to say. But my shadow, she wanted to destroy me.
Is it gonna kick me to the next area then, or... No? Okay. Examine the mirror in the entrance hall. I assume that being the one that I initially came from. As a way of saying, hey, you can get out of here now. But there's still more to explore. I went to examine the other mirrors. Oh, geez. Okay. I'm gonna guess that a bunch of these chests are fake. How in the world am I supposed to tell? I don't know. Well, that gave me nothing. But maybe I can go back in and try again. Yeah, there's nothing real obvious that I can see. Lead me to believe one is a real chest instead of the others. So I guess I might just have to keep guessing. Okay, well... I've tried these two. I think this is where, in editing, I will skip ahead to whichever one's the correct one. But all the lovely live stream viewers will get to see the entire process of all the attempts along the way. So I did 1, 2, 3. I think this is the next one to try. Didn't seem to do anything. Okay, how about this one? That would almost be too easy if it was the one in the middle. Also, I'm starting to wonder if anything shows up as they, like, kind of fade away. That would indicate... No. I don't really see anything there that would indicate one of them being the correct one over any of the others. Or is this just a giant distraction? And none of these actually have anything. Ooh, hey, Mega Ether. Okay. So, yep, it's broken now. Okay, that was it. So it was the one... is the first one to the left of the middle. Kaboom. I'm like, I would hope that hit multiple of them.
Farewell. Hey, yeah, hey, you're done.
Okay, now I'll heal.
Farewell.
Also, I got the Master of Lightning objective, I think. Something popped up and said Master of Lightning.
Yep.
Okay. And that one's broken now. Oh, is that it? I guess that's all the mirrors. Okay. Gonna save. So, hold up. Saving, or going to a save point now also charges your focus gauge? I don't know if that was a thing before. Interesting.
Never would have thought I'd become my own worst enemy. I've talked to myself a lot since falling into these shadows. But with the Phantom, it's as though all my doubts have gained a voice of their own. She's the weakness in my heart. I know I'm alone here. Have the uncountable hours in the shadows whittled away the courage I never really had. I'm losing this fight. The darkness has found the cracks in my heart. Is this the last apparition before it takes me over?
Complete the World Within episode, okay. I assume then I go back through that mirror to move things along.
Another world I know. Tara, Ven. Are they phantoms? I don't care if they are. Or if I fall into the darkness. I miss them.
Whoa, okay.
Get out of my way!
Forest of Thorns. Chase after Terra and Mantis. Definitely can't go back. You know what? Honestly... Oh, hey. I've unlocked the power of teleportation. You can now jump from one save point to another. Okay. Cool. Very helpful, you know, for, any kind of going completionist on this. And, you know what? That actually, like, the way that these episodes, as they're calling it, are playing out in their respective lengths actually make for really good, like, video episode lengths. So I'm gonna leave that one there, I think. But also, it seems a bit early to end the stream. So I might actually keep going and record another one. Dark World, Castle of Dreams. Oh, so that was the Dwarf Woodlands. Huh. My instinct of the mirror connecting to that world actually was more accurate than I thought it would be. Discovers a familiar sight, the Castle of Dreams. There she sees Terra, but he vanished. Yeah. And then the Dwarf Woodlands. That one's a much longer description. Okay. Objectives. Now defeated enough of those. Still got more of the others to defeat. Master of Counters. Master of Lightning I got. Use lightning-based magic to defeat 50 Heartless. Mystic Pauldron. Yeah. Activate Spellweaver's Finish command. Street lamps, equip an item in a wardrobe slot. Feed all the Heartless in the room. Oh, in the world within. Okay. All the mystery and win the battle. Uncover the, and obtain the special item. Okay. That was probably the, like, Mega Ether and whatnot. Gem Gatherer. Or that was the Mega Elixir. I don't know. Find the brightest jewels in the mines where the 7 dwarfs work. Oh, okay. So there were more of those to be found. Interesting. Tied to the mysterious rocks. Perform a spin during the fight with the Phantom Aqua. Okay, well, that would take a number of reattempts to do that, I think. Destroy 50 ivy branches. Some require magic. No surprise there. Okay. What do we have available here? Nothing new for the head. I do like the color of that one better. Nah. I don't know why. I like these better than the actual wings. Yeah, I still don't think I'll be messing around too much with these. Okay. We may run into an ad break partway through the next bit of recording, but I still think I'll just roll with it anyway. Okay. One more. We'll do one more episode thing. That assumes this one plays out. Well, one more recording. I was gonna say that assumes this episode winds up being the same length as the others. Anyway. Okay. Alright. So I changed out the color on Aqua's pauldron thing here, or whatever that's technically called in this case. And we have the map. Huzzah. Any enemies down here? No. I'm gonna need to activate Spellweaver soon if I want to use it. Yeah. I assumed the red on those meant fire. And it seems I assumed correctly. Wow. A little bit surprised there are still any enemies left, but more might have entered the battle partway through. Okay. Okay, they do seem to drop, like, bubble things. Oh. So it says you're supposed to go after Terra and Ven. But that would mean this way there's probably some kind of treasure or something, or just another fight. Kablam. Yeah, so appreciate the grand magic. First off, it's just epic. Second, does a lot of damage to a lot of enemies very quickly. You know what? Fine. Kablam. I thought that would get rid of more than one of them, but I guess not. Also, why? I'm like, why are there more vines up there? It's like not really even in my way. Just to make the objective more difficult, maybe?
Yep.
And what have we here? Oh. The dark side. Heartless
Really
thing.
think you can keep me away from my friends?
Had to be in here at some point, didn't it? See, but Aqua can double jump up there and attack him at pretty much any given time. But doing so while all this is going on might not be the best idea. I guess I should activate Spellweaver. It might be a good idea. Ow. Doesn't seem like it'll let me hit the dark side's face in this case, though. Which is unfortunate, because that's one of my favorite things to do to dark side now. What? It didn't let me do the finish. I thought for sure I would have had some time left. So it did let me target his face there. Or its face. In fact, now it almost seems like I have to. Okay, well, get an achievement for doing the Spellweaver finish 5 times, at least. Alright, so that's gonna be where I came from. It's showing Terra and Ven over here, so obviously that's where I'm supposed to go. Oh, jeez. More dark side? Oh, that's right. MP is still recharging. Oh, that's a short countdown for that finish. No wonder. It seems like that was actually kind of an awkward time to end up doing that. Oh. I guess I need to, you know, jump and stuff. Oh yeah. Grand magic is awesome. Okay. Cleared those Heartless out. And save point. Okay. Sure. Why not? And that leaves another place to which I can teleport. Treasure! Ether there. Man. Yeah, that's going to be annoying to have to deal with the whole way there. Okay. I'm not sure why a vine is showing up there, but whatever. Day. Hang on, is there somewhere else I could maybe go? Oh. Huh. Now that's a bit confusing. Like, more enemies would be appreciated, so it'll actually make sense when I do the finisher here. Is that just where I came in from, or... I'm a bit confused. Where am I going? What am I doing? More importantly, how do I move forward? And or at least find stuff. Okay, well. Found a chest there, so there's that. Got another flower thing. I don't know of anywhere else that I could really go along this path. There's something way the heck up there, but this is not dream drop distance, therefore I do not have flow motion to get me there. I guess Kingdom Hearts 3 also has flow motion. But this came in between those. So... yeah. Anyway. Wasn't necessarily established as something that would be in every or even most of the games yet. Okay, did I miss something? Because now I'm backtracking. Can't go back that way, so it's gotta be somewhere over here. But where? Oh. Maybe. Well, that led to more treasure, which I will not argue with getting. Oh, maybe I just needed to go up here. Sometimes it's just that simple. Oh, jeez. There's more than one of these enemies around here. Be gone. Where did the other one go? Okay. There's Terra and Ven's outline, but what else might be over here? My desire to explore keeps getting the better of me. Which, given how the timing has been working out, might not be the worst thing. Thunder just seems so much better, for the most part, for, like, dealing area damage than Fire or Blizzard. Which is why I use Thunder so much more than the others. Okay. Now I'll go back up this way, and then... Ooh, hello. Now if I drop down there, I'm like, where do I end up? Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm back in the part that initially got me confused before I realized I just needed to go up here.
Yep.
Okay. This is the way forward. I'm gonna heal now just because I was at the end of my MP gauge.
You're done. Farewell. Yep.
I should have done another shot lock right then, but whatever.
You're done.
Good day. All the enemies are gone, I imagine.
Yep.
See, now if I drop down there, is that somewhere I've already been? Yes, it is. Dagnabbit. I keep losing track of where I have and haven't been just because of little things like that. Okay. Now, for real this time, over this way.
You're done. Enough. Farewell.
I was like, I don't know if going into Spellweaver would do much here, but now that a couple more enemies have shown up, I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay. Use both situation commands. I am satisfied with that now. Well, now it seems like there are so many branches. Oh, that's... Okay, that's the way I'm supposed to go. I don't want to go there yet. Because I'm in exploration mode. Oh, hello. There's another flower thing. Okay, after all that, where did I actually end up? Okay, so this is another treasure. Got a potion. Okay. That's the direction I came from. So I'm gonna keep going over here. And this all kind of loops around. Like if I go over that way, this was probably, yeah, pretty sure this was where Terra and Ven's outlines or silhouettes or whatever you want to call them showed up. Kablam. So yeah, as I level up, the enemies seem to keep giving more experience. Which I am totally fine with, by the way. In fact, I think that's great. Having the enemies experience, like, scale with your level. Now. Okay, there's that little diversion out of the way. Now I go up here, which is probably actually the way to progress through the... Whoa. Okay. That looks ominous.
Okay, then.
I still haven't looked into the sound settings, dagnabbit. Beat the dark side supporting the dark orb. Okay, I think I'm supposed to just kind of keep moving through here. Not get too caught up in all the stuff falling around me. I'm actually not sure I hit the dark side with too much of that. Oh, come on. What is this? Whoa, jeez, okay. Probably don't want to get close to that. And probably want to dodge the lasers and such. Okay, healing. Okay, this again. Blocked just a little too soon there. That was just weird because they like curved back around with a timing that I was not quite ready for or expecting. Beat him with a deflection. And it was a very, like, split-second decision to try and end it that way. Kaboom. Okay. And we've reached another save point. Real or illusion? Complete the Forest of Thorns episode. Wow, really? That was even shorter than the others. Also, how far back does this path go? Good grief. And believe it or not, I would actually be able to backtrack from there. Not that it's a big deal. Okay, well, I've been kind of doing these videos episode by episode so far. I don't necessarily want to break the trend, but also that was a little bit shorter than the others. Maybe we'll get kind of like the introduction to the next one. And then end this particular recording.
Tara, Ven.
Aqua. You're...
Tara.
Of course, Ven's unresponsive, because
Can you see
that's how
me?
he actually is.
Of course. I see Ven too.
Ven? He's here?
Tara, what's wrong? Don't you see him?
Where are we?
A world the darkness has consumed. Its enchanted dominion.
Consumed. The worlds fell?
What's gotten into you? How do I know that you're Terra? And not the weakness that's in my heart, playing more tricks. Then, please say something.
Aqua, listen. I promise this is me, but I'm not myself.
That makes all sorts of sense.
What do you mean?
You're using the name Terra. That means you're seeing me the way that you remember me. But your heart is just painting the picture that it so wants to see. The real me is lost in shadow.
Then you're here, trapped in the realm of darkness.
No. My heart has ties to the dark. That must be why we can talk. But I can't see anything, Aqua. If you say Ven is there, then he's like me. An illusion created by your heart.
I understand. Then you and Ven are safe in the outside world?
I think.
That's good. But how did you find me?
I wouldn't exactly say
looked
Terra's
here.
safe.
And heard you in the darkness.
Right, but why does your heart have ties to the darkness now? What did you mean, lost in shadow?
Forget about me. Aqua, Xehanort is trying to locate Ven.
He'll never find him. I hid Ven well. I think the reason he's not talking to me here is because he's still there sleeping.
Oh,
No, I can't control.
This place. Is it the Chamber of Waking?
Yes. Who
really?
are
You didn't note the voice change before responding?
You don't know? My name.
Aqua, get back!
Terra!
I messed up. Xehanort is part of me. Now he's using me. So you'll tell him where you hid Ven.
Silence!
I won't give in. Aqua, you have to.
Still you struggle!
Terra!
Aqua!
Now you can be one with the darkness!
Ven!
It's enough!
Terra.
Okay. Get some insight onto his struggle
Now I
with
can be
the darkness
one with darkness.
/ Xehanort.
Aqua, are you okay?
Mickey. Hey. For a second I saw her falling like that and almost thought it was going to be the end of the game
Mickey.
already.
How did... Terra! Ven!
No time to talk.
Oh,
Dwellers of darkness.
another demon tower.
They're called Heartless.
But this time I have Mickey's help. Is it just me or was there less time in between the one part of that attack and the other? Doggone it. Slight difference in timing. Jeez. Oh. Thanks for the healing, Mickey. I was using up my MP. I was casting magic to use up my MP before I then just healed myself. but this works too. Okay. Did a little better with the timing there. Okay, I'm gonna heal now. Doggone it. Sometimes I think it's gonna do one attack and it does the other, and other times it's the opposite. Wayfinder. That's different. Now, is that because Mickey's here with me? That would also explain the... having a partner there with y'all would also explain the, like, mega items. Mega elixir, then mega ether, and that kind of stuff. Doggone it. Can't quite seem to fully get the timing down on some of the attacks and when to block them and stuff. Thanks, Mickey. Wayfinder again. Alrighty. Cool. Cleared that. Got more HP.
Push our luck. Gosh, I never thought I'd find you in the realm of darkness, that's for sure. So, what happened?
Have you seen Tara or Ven?
No, just you.
I'm sorry. The darkness in this place, it's getting to me.
Oh. But you'll be okay.
Can you get her out? That would really make her
I've been
okay.
looking for you a long time. How come you're in this place?
First tell me, how long's it been in the realm of light?
About 10 years.
Interesting. After we last spoke, I took Ven somewhere safe, and then I went after Tara. But Tara was about to fall to darkness, so I had one choice. I stayed here in hopes of giving him a chance.
I didn't know.
How about you? What could have brought you here? Has something happened in the realm of light?
It's the Heartless. They've been attacking worlds and taking their hearts. And worlds with no hearts vanish into darkness. But
that would
if
maybe
we can
explain
lock
why
the
she's
door
seen some of
between the
them
two realms,
here,
light
in the realm
and
of
dark,
darkness.
From both sides, we can protect the other worlds. So you see, I came here to find the key on this side. Turns out, it's not so easy getting into the realm of darkness. The points you can cross have become unstable. It's only when a world gets consumed that an entrance appears in the realm between. So, I waited for my chance to sneak in. But hey, when I got here, I felt a warm, familiar light. I followed it to find my way to you.
The charm. So they were helping. Tara and Ben brought you and I back together again.
Yeah.
But the worlds are still in danger. Tara, did he make it back to the realm of light?
We still haven't found him.
I see.
Or you did and you just don't know it.
Well, wherever he is, he's fighting. He'll beat his darkness. And I know he wants me to fight too.
I think you're right. He'll be just fine.
Yes. But what about Ven? He won't wake up unless I'm there with him. I have to go. I have to find a way back to the realm of light.
Good. Then let's locate that key and go home together.
Does that mean you know an exit?
Well, I was so busy finding a way in that I didn't give a lot of thought to where there'd be a way out.
Yeah.
But together, we're sure to find one.
You haven't changed at all.
Yeah. Being slightly lacking in plans,
May our
that's
hearts be
very
our
much a
guiding
Mickey
key.
move.
There's a phrase no one's used in ages.
Keyblade wielders used to say those words to each other. And now, it's something I like to try and remember. So, ready?
Ready.
Also, hello, Seth. You're actually hopping in right as I'm probably going to wrap things up. Depths of Darkness. Delve deeper into the darkness. Oh, and there's no save point here. It would be great if there was a save point. Oh, there is a save point. Never mind. And now I have Mickey with me. This could add another layer of interest. Okay. So that seems like a decent spot to stop another recording, as we're just getting into another episode, section, world thing. And that makes 3 that I have now recorded. This is another, so this is actually, there's a second Birth by Sleep game. This is 0.2 Birth by Sleep, A Fragmentary Passage is the entire title of this game. It's basically following up on the first Birth by Sleep. Yeah, no, it's not the same, but I made the stream title that way just to, I don't know, because I thought it would be a little more interesting being like, wait, am I really going back to this again? No, I'm not. It's a different one. But since it also still has Birth by Sleep as part of the title, that was, I don't know. I was trying to be a little bit clickbaity without being, you know, fake or anything. Without lying entirely. I don't really like her having anything on her head like that. I think it looks weird. That actually kind of fits the color scheme I've got going on. And I don't really like any of these pattern things. Especially because everything else about her clothing just turns to a single solid color then. I mean, I guess there's a gradient option, it says, but anyway. Has things to do after the main story, I expect. I don't know for sure about after the main story. There's definitely some of these... There's some of these objective things that you might not completely necessarily get as you're doing the main story, though. So, there's at least a little bit more replayability and options of kind of 100%ing. So I guess if I actually looked into this a little bit more, I could, you know, more intentionally mess around with the color scheme and bottom color. What exactly are we calling the... Okay, so that's just like the other secondary color. Of course, really, then it would... Maybe. Okay. I don't know why I'm messing around with the coloring and stuff. I don't even really care that much about it, but... I just thought I would at least see if I could do something with it. That doesn't look bad, in my opinion. Anywho. Not like... Yeah, I doubt this would have as much to go back through as Dream Drop Distance. My understanding is that this is a... just an overall shorter game than most of the others. I mean, you know, not including just random messing around with cosmetics and such. I've been, you know, I've spent maybe like 2.25 hours roughly on any kind of story progress, and I've already gone through 3 different worlds and another like major story scenario or 2. Okay, anywho, I'm gonna save that. Now, I could, if I thought it was necessary at this point, like, backtrack and try and do some stuff. But I also was thinking I would probably wrap up the stream here so I can have a decent amount of time to edit stuff and actually get myself overall ahead on things rather than just add more recordings to the backlog that needs to be edited. So yeah, well, Seth, if you want to see the other stuff that has happened so far in this game, you could either watch the stream archive on YouTube or wait for the edited videos to come out in like a week or so and then watch those. Yeah. I'm not really aware of anything aside from the objectives and I guess collecting treasures that'll add a whole lot of replay value to this. But yeah, editing backlog. That's what I'm thinking about right now. So, or wait for the Twitch VOD. Yeah, I guess that wouldn't... That'd probably only take, like, a few hours to maybe a day to actually fully be there, if even that long. Anywho, okay. In any case, I do seriously think I'm going to wrap up the stream. Let me just work on finding a raid target for Twitch. But yeah, I really like the gameplay of this one. This, I'll just call it Fragmentary Passage. Honestly, the controls feel a lot like Kingdom Hearts 3, so I wonder if they actually used this game's engine and controls and stuff as like the template for Kingdom Hearts 3. Because it feels very much like that. But anyway, yeah. So we're ending there for today. 3 hours to graduation. Oh, you have that, like, the ceremony today and whatnot? That is what I'm gathering from that? I believe I said congratulations yesterday, but, yeah. Hope the ceremony and all that is nice. And then, you know, you'll have the whole summer to enjoy. Or, I don't know if you also work, but then you've got the summer until you start college, I guess. So, yeah. Good things ahead, hopefully. But yeah. That's all I've got. No one on my rating list today. Well, okay, then I've got one person in mind. We will go ahead and raid them. Him. Yeah. Anyway. Alrighty. So that's all from me. Those of you who've been in the stream however long, hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll see you soon for another one. Whatever ends up happening. Until next time, stay cool, everybody.